Hello, good evening, and hello. My name's Tom Miller, and this is HRTV News. Our top stories this week. World Children's Mental Health Week. We're joined by a special guest to tell us all about it.
Bong.
Sports! Are we keeping fit? We find out.
Bong.
We join Mrs. Jukes in the fourth of our special reports on Burton-on-Trent and the local area.
Bong.
And finally, recognition time. We celebrate some of the amazing work that you've been up to. Hello, good evening, and hello. Mental health. There has never been a more important time to keep your mental health happy and healthy. We're lucky here at Holy Rosary to have our very own mental health expert. We caught up with Faye Petcher to find out all about it. Hi Faye, and thanks for joining us today on HRTV News. Faye, I'm going to start by just asking, what is your role at Holy Rosary, specifically with regards to mental health?
Oh, thank you, Tom. Thanks for having me on. I'm so excited to be on HRTV News now. Even though I've been at Holy Rosary a very, very long time, I am now the mental health lead with a great team of people like yourselves and other teachers that help me in this role. So it's something really exciting for me to get my teeth into. And I love that area of working with children to get their optimal mental health, resilience, kindness. You know, it covers lots and lots of things.
So give us a little bit of an example. What happens at Holy Rosary to help with children's mental health?
Well, obviously every class has their listening hour on a Monday, and this is so useful because it's a chance for the children to talk to the teacher. It's a chance for the teacher to have a check-in with the children to see how they're getting on. It's a chance to delve into topics like kindness, bullying, diversity, awareness at a deeper level. So it's brilliant that goes on. Obviously, a lot of classes now have a bit of a worry box where children can put their worries inside or let the teacher know that they want to talk. I know all the classes have their brain break, and that could be brain gym, mindfulness, mantras, even I know a bit of yoga goes on. Mr. Miller, I know you like your yoga.
I do my yoga. Very flexible over here at HRTV News.
And we join in with the mental health days. We've had our Inside Out Day. We do Hello Yellow, and it's great that we can raise this awareness of children's mental health. And obviously for myself, I've started off some one-to-one listening with children who are struggling maybe with lockdown, with feeling anxious, with friendships. So I'm really enjoying that part of my job role.
Sounds like so much good stuff going on within the school at the moment. But how can parents look after their children's mental health?
That's a really, really good question, Tom. And the first thing that I would say, in order to do that, parents need to look after their own mental health first. There's that saying, isn't there? Fit your own oxygen mask before you fit anyone else's. Because I know as a parent, if my wellbeing battery is empty, it's really then difficult to support and give to others. So I say that's the most fundamental part. And then on top of that, it's just being available for your child. If they want to talk, have a check-in. You know, activities like baking that I know has been going on and supporting them, just letting your child know that you are there. You know, supporting them with getting enough sleep at bedtime. I know that can be a struggle with the older children, making sure they're eating that varied diet, getting outside. I know that my mood is instantly lifted when I'm outdoors. And obviously there's lots of great support out there. Staffs County Council have got their Action for Children, Young Minds, Place to Be, Now and Beyond. If you get on the website, there is free support that you can access and free information.
Wow, Lots of information there. We might even try and put some links at the bottom of this video to point some parents in the right direction. And finally, Faye, we've talked about what we do in school. We've talked about our parents and how they can help. But Faye, how can the children take care of their own mental health?
Again, another great question. And the first thing is to be okay with not being okay. I think, with children, when they're feeling a bit worried, they start to panic more. It's okay to have days when you're sad, okay to have days when you're anxious or feeling tearful. And then to actually reach out and talk to a parent, talk to a friend, talk to an adult that they trust about how they are feeling. I've actually said as well, have a bit of time for that brain break. I know some of us are working from home, some of us are in school. Have that time to have a few minutes in the day to do what you want to do, whether that's reading a book, listening to music, getting outdoors. I mean, say, have a little what I call a mental health toolbox. I've actually brought in Wilfred the Worry Monster. Here he is. And he's someone that you give your worries to. And, if you've got a mental health first aid box, you can put your own cuddly toy in there, a nice little stress ball. You can have a journal in there, some nice pictures, things that you can open that makes you feel instantly better. Obviously, getting outside each day, having that brain break from technology before you go to bed, because if your brain's really going, you just need to come down a little bit. And, eating healthy, lots and lots of things that children can be doing for themselves.
Faye, some fantastic advice there for the children and for the parents. Thank you so much for joining us today on HRTV News. Your insight is incredible. Thank you, Faye.
Have we stopped now, Mr. Miller? No?
Just keep going a little bit. Olivia Newton-John said it best when she said, "Let's get physical. Physical. I want to get physical. Let's get into physical." In the first of our HR Sports segments, we head over to Mrs. Everett for our brand new feature, HR Sports.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Miller. Welcome. Unbelievable scenes here at HR Sports. We need to celebrate children who have been so very active. So here we have Jessica from Foundation Stage 2 doing a little bit of yoga. Angela from Year 1 scooting along. Morgan, Year 2, taking on a football challenge. Milena, Year 2, doing some yoga and some of Mrs. Everett's stretches. William, Year 2, doing the Joe Wicks workout. Taya, Year 5, carrying out her gymnastics. Charlie, Year 6, and Toby, Year 4, running round the block. Henry set himself a walking challenge. Some of our children have been brave enough to take part in the 3 Peak Virtual Challenge. Here's where they're up to. Jimmy has made a great start at the beginning of Scafell Pike Peak 1. Henry and Matthew on their way to catch Mrs. Ev, Ben Nevis Peak 2. Lottie way out in front with 20 miles, reaching the peak of Snowdon very soon. Everyone keep going, you're doing brilliantly. So, keeping active. We love seeing your pictures and videos. Who knows, maybe next week you'll be the star of HR Sports. Back to you in the studio.
Last week, Mrs. Deitch took us down to the river to talk about the river and the surrounding washlands. This week, Mrs. Jukes has been swanning around Stapenhill Gardens, finding out all about the historic gardens. So now, with our fourth report on Burton-on-Trent and the local area, here's Mrs. Jukes with our fourth report on Burton-on-Trent and the local area.
Hi everyone, Mrs. Jukes here, reporting from one of my favourite places in Burton, and that is Stapenhill Gardens. Here are the gates that were part of Stapenhill House. They stood on this site until it was demolished in 1931. These steps are the steps that once led down to the main lawn. It's hard to imagine how the house would have looked, as it would have blocked any view of Main Street. The gardens were open to the public in 1933 and have now been enjoyed from local people and tourists for many years. Here is the house in its former glory. Here are the maize flower beds, still in use today. From above, you can see the shape of a windmill. The 3 flower beds in the middle used to make up the front steps to the Stapenhill House. The Swan was built in 1953. That year was a very special year as it celebrated the coronation of the Queen. Did you know that swans are a royal bird? It's also led to believe that it also marks St. Modwyn. And this is because on her death, it's led to believe that her soul was taken up to heaven by silver swans. And that marks the swan. Which swan do you believe? Back to you in the studio.
Before our final story, let's head over to Year 1 for the weather.
It is still raining.
Sorry, you just caught me reading through the award brochure from the St Ralph Sherwin Virtual Awards evening. There I am, on page 1. Just that down. There. I am an award winner. But it's not all about me. If I could, I would put all of the Holy Rosary children into an award brochure and make them winners. Instead, they get celebrated on HRTV News. So, with that in mind, let's have a look what some of the children have been up to this week in this week's episode of Let's Have a Look at What Some of the Children Have Been Up To This Week. That's all we've got time for this week. But remember, loving heart, strong mind.